Hi, you guys. Leanne Hullitz here at the Healing Studio with one of our Healing Studio healers, Katie Vinther. We thought we would do a little interview with Katie so you guys can get to know her and what she does. Well, of course, I've got I've got a breakthrough right away. Um, so, hi, Katie. How are you? And tell me just a little bit about what you do so that people know your role at the Healing Studio.
Hi, I'm good. So I am an energy healer. I, I do Reiki. I do energy healing. I work with crystals a lot. Um, so that's what I do.
So tell me a little bit about how you discovered your talents, your gifts, like what you wanted to use as a healer.
um, well, I feel like as a child, I was really intuitive. Kind of had those gifts suppressed over years. Had a loss later in life, which kind of brought me back to my gifts and put me on this path of doing the work of healing for myself, which in turn kind of opened up this desire or calling to help others who are going through different things and challenges to help them on their healing journey. Um, so it's been a process of um, tapping into my abilities and growing those and kind of collecting tools over the years to help me on my journey.
We kind of always have the wounded healer journey, don't we? Or something crazy happens and then it's like, okay, gotta take it seriously. Remember to ignite those healing gifts. So one of your tools that you have is Holy Fire Karuna Reiki. And
Yes.
I know that people come in and be like, do you guys do that Reiki, whatever thing? So tell me about this specific kind of Reiki you do and what somebody might experience if they receive it.
Okay. So Holy Fire Corona Reiki is a newer form of Reiki. It's gentle but super powerful. Um, so Reiki itself is basically I'm the conduit, and the energy is coming through divine source through me to the client, wherever it's most needed in the body. We can definitely focus on different ailments, whether that's physical or energetic. Um, but yeah, the energy is coming through me to you. And yeah.
Well, and I kind of like to think of it a little bit like a match lighting a candle kind of thing. Like
Yeah.
the energy is transferred into the potential that the client has to move the energy through their body.
Yes.
And so, yeah, and sometimes like the match isn't, the candle's not lit and it hasn't been lit for a while, so you can kind of feel like a lot of energy. And
Yeah.
sometimes you just need a little stoking of the fire, and it just feels get a little orbsy.
Yeah.
um, so like, how did you decide to become a Reiki practitioner? Like, was there some specific like aha moment, or was it just over time?
I think just over time, I started with coming to classes at the studio. Before that, I had some other stuff I did, but I came to classes at the Healing Studio. I did all of the energy awareness classes with you, which really helped. And then Reiki kind of felt like the next thing that was showing up for me. So, and then it just kind of kept showing up. So I just listened. I became a master in another form of Reiki, and then was introduced to Holy Fire Reiki, and it just felt like it felt right, and it felt like this was kind of the next step. And for me, Holy Fire Reiki kind of felt like it like cracked open kind of the next level of my abilities, and kind of really just helped me um, helped me not necessarily understand, but gave me like a format or a way that made sense to me. Like, I want to work with this. So,
Awesome. Well, you mentioned some other tools that you use, like crystals or sound.
yes. So, I pretty much use crystals in every session. I don't think I've ever had a session that the crystals didn't want to play. I really love stones and am really in tune with them and their energies. So generally, I have stones that I'll either have you hold or I'll place on the body. And then I use some sound. I have a quartz Merkaba that I use, which is really good at clearing energy. It's also good just to kind of like ground into the start of the session. Eventually, I might get like a sound bowl to bring in. And then sometimes aromatherapy, that's not hugely present, but sometimes I use that.
So, what could someone expect kind of coming into your office? Like, I mean, say somebody's never come into the healing studio before. What does it look like, start to finish?
Okay. Well, you come in, you take a seat in the lobby. Your practitioner, whether you're seeing me or someone else, will come down and get you when it's time for your session. And then go back to my space. And we'll generally sit down, do a little check in. I've already start tuning into the energy of the client before they even get here to kind of be guided on at least a little insight on what we're going to look at, what kind of stones want to play that day. We'll do a little check in. I'll ask my client what, if anything, they have in mind for the session. And then I'll have you move over to the table. You'll lay on the table. And I always ask if people want hands on healing. I don't have to do touch, I can do it without touching you. And then you stay fully clothed, comfortable. Clothing is best. If you want to wear leggings and then after your session, it's typically about 45 minutes of Reiki in an hour-long session. And then we do a little check-in at the end, just make sure you're feeling good and grounded before you leave, and then you're on your way till the next visit.
So, just for those of you who've never been here too, our building looks like a little house compared to the area. The area is all office buildings, and so it almost looks like you're supposed to like knock on the door, but you really can just come in. There's tea or water if you need it while you wait. And Katie's up a small flight of stairs, so just kind of for people who have range of motion issues, just know that that is something that is there. And then they're laying flat on your like a massage table, right?
Yes.
Okay. So how does I mean what would cause someone to make a session with you? Like what impulse, is it an ailment? Is it, feeling off? Is it feeling great? What's the
I mean, I feel like it varies, and it can vary to where you are, how often you do energy work. So if you're someone who does a ton of energy work, maybe you don't feel like you need to come as often. If you're kind of newer to it or you have something happening, maybe you want to come more often. Generally, I talk about, if you have a lot of stress or tension in the body or stagnation, or you feel like you're just kind of stuck,
Mhm.
or you feel like you might have some energy blocks, or yeah, if you have physical ailments, there's so much that you can work on with energy work.
Mhm.
So, and the it's just kind of like feeling bogged down, like I just, I need some extra support, or I don't really know what to do with this. So, kind of having someone else look at it can also be helpful.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes I tell people like, yeah, we may be discovering what you already know, but having someone who, doesn't know what's going on for you discover this issue and work through it with you can sometimes be really profound.
Yeah.
Um, and even just being seen, energetically by somebody, like, they see that you're having issues or whatever, can sometimes just be really uplifting. Um, the only other thing I guess is, how does somebody get an appointment with you? What's the best way?
Booking through my website is the best way. Um, you can also, text or email me. I'm happy to help people, assist or book for them if they need me to. So yeah, my website is the best way.
What's your website?
It's www.shineyourlight888.org.
All right. So, um, I guess I've meant to ask, can you do this remotely, or do you have to do it in person?
Yes, I can do it remotely. Generally, when I do when I do remote sessions, I'm either there's a specific stone that wants to work with you, and I'll send energy kind of through that stone, or I can set up a crystal grid. There's lots of different ways to send energy remotely, so definitely does not have to be in person.
Yeah, right. And we're working as energy healers on the non-physical anyway, right? Mostly.
Yeah.
It impacts the physical, but um so for those of you who are watching this later, and if you have more questions for Katie or myself, you can type them in the comments. You can get a hold of us, let us know what other questions we didn't answer for you, because we are here. We would love to answer those questions for you. And uh, if no matter where you are with your journey, if you're watching this, it's probably likely that you are getting little subtle hints to consider energy medicine. So it's unlikely you would have arrived here with us without a little nudge from your guides. So you might think about it and investigate, feel into it. We have lots of healers at the healing studio, and we always say you kind of know who's for you, and there's a specific kind of energy. Like we don't compete with each other, because we all know that any given day somebody might need this kind of energy, if that makes sense. Thank you, Katie, for sharing what you're doing, and we will see you guys around. Bye.
Bye.